I have the distinct pleasure of introducing our 2010 Acme Award recipient. But before I do that, I would like to let you know what this particular Acme Award represents. The Acme Award was established in 1993 under the presidency of Katrina D. Henry. This is the Women's Council's most prestigious award. Presented annually, the Acme recipient must be an outstanding woman that is demonstrated by honorable reputation, probity, and the distinction of multiple accomplishments, a positive impact in the African American community in the field of business, politics, and social services. The first recipient of this distinguished award was Sarah Knight Pretty of Las Vegas, Nevada in 1993. She was a community activist, real estate pioneer, political figure, and owner of the first African-American nightclub and hotel in Las Vegas. Mrs. Pretty was awarded $1 million in 1992 by the city of Las Vegas to restore her historic icon for museum exhibiting. Now, I think when you hear her name, you'll understand why she's being awarded today. Her name is Gail Warrior-Lawrence. She's the president and CEO of Warrior Group Incorporated. Gail Warrior-Lawrence is president and CEO of Warrior Group, a construction services company based in DeSoto, Texas, and focuses on permanent modular construction. Mrs. Warrior-Lawrence co-founded Warrior Group with then-husband Wayne Lawrence in 1997. Today, Warrior Group is one of America's largest minority and woman-owned construction services companies. Warrior's employees with more than 100 years of a combined construction experience that has grown 300% in revenue over the last 2 years. Also, during the last 2 years, Warrior Group has won more than 30 national and regional awards. Ms. Warrior-Lawrence has earned numerous personal honors, including the Covenant Ernst & Young Entrepreneur of the Year Award. Gail serves her community in more ways than one. She serves on a number of boards, including the Dallas Regional Chamber, and in 2007, founded the heart of a Warrior Charitable Foundation serving underserved youth in Dallas-Fort Worth. She earned a BA degree in accounting from Clark Atlanta University and an MBA from the University of Dallas. What a warrior. The next person you will hear is our 2010 Acme Award recipient, Ms. Gail Warrior-Lawrence.
Wow, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
You know, I am speechless right now. I am humbled, I am honored. I was reading through the program and reading some of the past recipients, and I thought, man, you know, I don't deserve this award. So from the bottom of my heart, I say thank you very, very much. It's a privilege to be with you this afternoon. I'm truly honored to be a recipient of the Women's Council Acme Award, but even more so to have this opportunity to spend the afternoon with you. And when I look across the room, I see some serious hatitude going on. You know, some of the women that I came with, they said, what is hatitude? And I said, hatitude is when you wear the hat and you don't let the hat wear you. This afternoon, I'd like to share with you a few of my thoughts on this year's theme, which I loved: women, work, and wealth. Women, yes, we already know that we rock, right? And work, it's documented in many studies that we work harder than any other gender. Yeah, we do. And wealth. Fortune magazine in 2005 reported that by 2010, 60% of all wealth in America would be controlled by women. What year is it now? Well, it is 2010, but guess what? I think we still have a little bit more work to do. Still, women's role in society has changed dramatically. Today, women are the center of an unprecedented social and economic shift. 2/3 of U.S. women are now active in the workforce compared to only 1/3 in the 1950s. And while 50 years ago, men controlled all of a married couple's long-term financial planning, an increasing amount of decision-making, as we've heard earlier, and control now falls on women. But check this out. Women tend to live about 8 to 10 years longer than men. I believe that women are making some strides in the business community as well. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, women still fill 51% of the management and professional roles in companies today. Nearly 14% serve as executive officers for Fortune 500 companies, while 15% serve on board posts for those same companies. But even more importantly, women are starting businesses at 2.5 times the rate of men. Being here among this group of dynamic, successful, and powerful women is even more evidence of that. But do you want to know what the great thing is about women entrepreneurs? When times get tough, and we know that they are right now, we refuse to lose, and we help each other out as things get tougher. I'll give you an example of a woman by the name of Lauren Tom. She's a single mother of 3, and she started a new t-shirt shop in New Orleans. Now, New Orleans needs another t-shirt shop, probably like it needs more problems to deal with. But it's not the idea that makes great business. It's the hustle, it's the care, and it's the creativity that you put into it. So Lauren, she had a $3,000 IRS refund check, and she gambled on the fact that women in New Orleans wanted sassy New Orleans flair style t-shirts made just for them. And it turns out that they did. And within months, after Twittering and Facebooking and PRing her way into the public eye, she had enough business to open up a renovated shotgun house and help revitalize Oak Street with additional retail. But then she hit a snag. The NFL, huge NFL, sent her a nastygram. And they said that she couldn't sell those shirts with the old Saints phrase, "Who dat?" on it. Imagine that. Remember what I was saying about tough times? She thought this might really kill off her business just when things are starting to get good. But instead of giving in, the little t-shirt shop that could, she raised a ruckus, and she fought back in the court of public opinion, and she ended up making the NFL back down. And then her business boomed. Today, she's turned that $3,000 into $250,000 business. She's opened up a second location, she employs 3 people, and she's giving back to her community. You know, I believe that the underlying statement here says, dream big, start small, keep your attitude in shape, and give back to the people who help you. To me, that's a great recipe for success, whether you're selling t-shirts or commercial or residential real estate. But even with all of this progress, I would love to see more diversity among entrepreneurs and leaders in leadership positions. Today, women of color comprise only 2% of top executive posts in business. And of the more than 2 million companies that are classified as small business in Texas, only about 500,000 are owned by women, and much fewer are owned by women of ethnic descent. To me, that's why the Women's Council of NAREB is just the kind of bridge-building organization that we need right now. I'm encouraged to hear a lot of great things about the organization and the growth that you've had since 1971. And it's exciting for me to learn about the impact of the Women's Council has made on real estate industry as a whole. And increasingly slowly, but yes, steadily, the country as a whole is embracing all the talent that women of all shapes, sizes, and colors bring to the business and to the community. As far as my own personal story, I can tell you it took a lot of sweat and a lot of sleepless nights to get to where I am today. But I've learned a lot. And I can tell you that I would not be here today if it wasn't for some of my talented team that graciously decided to join me here today. And if you don't mind, I'd like for them to stand up in the back of the room. I've got some of the Warrior women here today and some of my awesome friends as well. If you would all please stand up. Yeah, I've been working on Warrior Group for about 13 years now, and in the beginning I was very inexperienced, and I didn't have an office, and I didn't exactly know what I was getting into. But today, Warrior Group is the largest minority and women-owned permanent modular construction company in the country. And we construct many of the buildings that are used for residential and military housing, administrative offices, healthcare facilities and clinics, education buildings and dormitories, retail centers, and a whole lot more. But we didn't get there the easy way. And along the way, I learned some very valuable lessons, some good, some not so good. But all the lessons that I learned that made a serious impact on my life. And if you allow me just a few more moments, I'd like to share some of those lessons with you. Lesson number 1, you have to play the hand that you're dealt. Business runs in cycles. Sometimes you're up and sometimes you're down. And real estate trends teach us about ups and downs all the time, right? That things happen, good and bad. But when bad things happen, you can't just crawl up into the corner and say, oh, woe is me, I can't get out today. That's not what entrepreneurs do, and that's definitely not what we as women do. I mean, we're not considered the stronger sex for no reason, right? And I don't know about you, but with sometimes with juggling my job and my community projects and my son's very busy life, I rarely have time to focus on all of the negative things that go on in life and dwell on the things that I can't change. I can't point fingers and I can't assign blame, and I just have to step back and get a perspective on where I'm at and figure out how I'm going to move forward from here. And then I have to dig in my heels, whether they're the steel-toed boots or sometimes my Jimmy Choos. And sometimes I do that literally just to get the job done. I've also learned that I always have to take the high road. Have you heard that? Always take the high road. And it won't make the situation better to push the problem onto someone else. And it's not in the DNA of great leaders. Great leaders take the hand that they're dealt and make the best of whatever's coming their way. You know, I love something that Ebby Holliday shared in an article a few years ago. She said, and I quote, "I was accustomed to hardship and extreme effort. Other people who have not had that kind of tempering experience probably give up a little too easily when they encounter problems." Isn't that so true? No wonder she's one of the most influential and dynamic women and business leaders in our community today. Lesson number 2, be happy in everything that you do. Your exuberance is contagious. Maybe some of you may be like me and you might read a lot of business magazines and you've noticed all this talk about passion and finding your passion and pursuing, and I think that's great. And if you're happy to be in one of those fields, then great for you. But I think that one of the main things, and if you're in a situation like that, oftentimes that's a luxury. And I would rather that you focus on being happy and focus on all the great things that you have in front of you each and every day and work hard to make those things better. We spend so many hours in our workplace, and when we're not happy, our work suffers, and our colleagues don't get the support that they need, and our customer service isn't as good as it should be. So while my passion is health and fitness, I dearly love what we do at Warrior Group. And when I see a finished project, something that we did, and it's got the Warrior name on it, I'm so extremely proud. So just like in your business, when a sale that you've worked on so hard finally comes to close and finally comes through, and you've gone above and beyond to meet the needs and expectations of your customers, that's such a wonderful feeling. So whether you're running a company or whether you're working as a broker, whatever you have, always give it 110%. Because to me, real happiness comes from within you, and not from the company that you work for. The real power is in the pride and the happiness that you bring with you each and every day. Lesson number 3, count your blessings, but especially count them on the really tough days, am I right? So I've already talked about ups and downs. When the pipeline is full, you can't wait to get to work and take the next ride. But what about on those days when you've got issues? What about on those days when you've got challenges or bumps in the road? And when the challenges and the issues get bigger, so do the bumps in the road, right? But even on those toughest of days, you have to keep in mind that all of these issues, they will eventually pass. There's a reason why you're facing what you're facing. There's something to learn from the situation. And I know sometimes I think, God, can I just learn it tomorrow? Do I have to wait 6 months from now? So it's important on those days to count the blessings that you do still have on hand. You know, on any given day of the week, I might be on the road, I might be in the air, I might be on the phone or in a meeting or talking to wonderful people like you this afternoon. And in between, I might be fixing lunches and dinner for my son or picking up birthday presents and helping him with homework. And then plus there's driving him to the school events and sleepovers, all while managing my time to get in a workout each and every morning. And in the back of my mind, there are always thoughts about Warrior Group. And at times, it can feel very overwhelming. So what do? I talk myself out of being overwhelmed by remembering how blessed I am, that I'm doing what I love, and by being the mother to a son who is always so full of life, energy, and personality. So I keep going. And eventually things, they do turn around. With a lot of hard work, dedication, and focus, you'll find that things do start swinging your way again. So even in the toughest of times, make a list. Make a list of what is working. And it's my hunch that you probably still have more blessings than you can even count. Lesson number 4. At the end of the day, your reputation is all that you have. Your reputation is your word, is your bond. You can't cut corners. You have to do everything above board. You know, my mom had a saying, and some of your moms may have had the same saying, whatever is done in the dark will always, always come to the light. And it may not be until tomorrow, and it may be next month, and it may be next year, but eventually it always comes out. And I truly believe that. You know, in the real estate industry, reputation goes a long way, correct? And your business absolutely blossoms through word of mouth. In fact, 73% of people said that they select a real estate agent directly through a friend referral. There are few industries like yours that are as viral as yours. So if your reputation goes sour, the consequences might spiral right out of your control. You know, even in my own industry, we once had a subcontractor who didn't deliver superior work on a roof of a child daycare center that we were building. Now, it wasn't our fault, and it wasn't our responsibility, and it wasn't even something that we had budgeted in the project. But we went ahead and we made sure that everything was perfect because it had the Warrior name on it. As an author, Ernest Brahma once said, you can't lead the way or you can't make a difference if you're cutting corners. A reputation for 1,000 years may depend upon the conduct of a single moment. Let me repeat that because it's one of my favorites. A reputation for 1,000 years may depend upon the conduct of a single moment. So when you do things with high integrity, you're setting yourself up for long-term happiness and growth. Words I truly love to live by come from our Warriors, our company creed, which is our Warrior Creed. And it says, build trust, be accountable, succeed together, make a difference, and lead the way. Lesson number 5, and this is the last one, take responsibility. We have a great power to change the world through our visions, our passion, and our dedication. But with this power comes responsibility to be what the world needs you to be. Are you thinking Wonder Woman? For those of us who used to watch that show, you know that was one of her mantras. But what I'm really thinking about is my favorite movie that says, we have a duty to pay it forward. And sometimes we don't realize that our success is tied to other people's success. And we must look for ways to build the strength of the entire business network and make sure that we all advance together. In fact, just 3 years ago, I did establish Heart of a Warrior Foundation, which creates and supports educational programs and resources in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. We currently have about 150 children in our summer program, aged 8 to 14, and we just actually had our graduation for our kids this past Friday. Our hope is that the opportunities and skills that they may learn in our programs will help them grow as students, but more importantly, help them grow as people. I love that the Women's Council supports the future leaders with a scholarship program for college students. I think you guys are awesome. You really rock. Many of these recipients are here, I believe, at this conference, and you should feel good that knowing you're helping these young adults get a better edge on today so they can have great lives tomorrow. Over the next few days, or this evening, you're going to have the chance to network with a lot of people and learn about what your industry and its leaders are doing and sharing each other's accomplishments. But during that time, I want to give you a challenge that I like to give myself. Take a moment and make a difference in someone's life today. Find time to mentor someone who might be struggling in their business or maybe in their life. Encourage them to remain hopeful. The more that we work together and support each other as business people, as friends, and yes, as women, the more I know we will make a difference in this world. Again, thank you for your time this afternoon. I can't tell you how extremely honored and proud and just excited I am to receive this award for 2010. Have a wonderful afternoon.